Threats.
Slap in the face, you know.
Mate, you've not got what it takes.
What? Anger.
Don't, sir, don't.
Desperation.
I got no money at all.
What happens when debt
No, do you need me to lose my temper?
tracks you down?
I'm not even paying a penny of it.
Up and down the UK,
No, I didn't ask you to come in.
we see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents
Can't believe that's pending.
dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
I don't have any documentation.
Okay, then we'll go.
Because if you can't pay,
I got 80 quid in my pocket.
It's not going to be enough, is it?
they'll take it away. Recent research has shown that falling incomes, coupled with rising childcare costs, have left 6 million working families struggling to make ends meet. Over 2/3 of these families have no money left each month to put aside in savings, leaving them at risk of falling into debt. High Court enforcement agents Gary Ball and Matt Highway are in Great Bar, Birmingham. They're here to recover almost £4,500 owed by a couple for unpaid nursery fees.
Who's next on the hit list then, mate?
Next on the list, mate, we've got a Mr. Wesley Regis and Miss Cyrena Cooper, and they owe just over £4,000 to Children's Nursery.
It seems that Mr. Regis and Miss Cooper used to pay for their childcare regularly, but the couple have now fallen behind with their payments.
That's another one of the most popular debts of the time.
One a day so far, isn't it? Nursery fees.
Yeah.
The nursery escalated the case to the High Court, and now the debtors must pay the money they owe in full today. With no answer, Matt goes to check for another entrance. Finding the back door open, he makes peaceful entry.
Hello? Hello there. How are you? Do you want to answer the front door, mate? My colleague wants to speak to you.
Yeah, can I just shut this?
No, that's fine. He's at the front door, he wants to speak to you. We're High Court enforcement agents.
Okay, can I just shut this door then?
There you go.
Yeah, but no,
Okay.
but can I shut this door, please?
Yeah, you can, yeah, I'll come in and you can shut it.
No, I didn't ask you to come in.
There you go, you don't need to ask me, sweet.
Okay, can
All
you
right.
go to the front door then?
Do you want to answer the front door? My colleague's
yeah,
there.
I'm on my own, so I feel vulnerable right now.
You're very safe, believe me.
Okay. Hello?
Morning, madam. You all right?
Yeah.
Miss Cooper, is it?
Yeah.
So, Miss Cooper, yeah, that's Matthew, I'm Gary. We're here to recover £4,342.58.
I've got 5 children to look after. I've not had no notification whatsoever.
What about Wesley?
He's not here at the moment.
He's not here.
Do you want to give him a ring and see if he can pay it?
He's got nothing in his pocket either.
Okay.
He's a self-employed
The writ
father.
commands us to attend the property today to seize goods to the value of. You understand that?
Yeah, I do
Okay,
understand
that's what we're here
that.
to do.
I do
All right.
understand that.
Is there anybody that can help you with this?
Nope, we're by ourselves.
With payment looking unlikely, Matt looks around the house for any assets they could seize to offset the debt. While Gary tries to find out more about how the couple got themselves into this situation.
So why wasn't it paid at the time, the nursery fees?
We was paying at the time, but
Yeah.
obviously, I lost my job, so obviously we fell into arrears. She did stop my son from going to nursery, then I had to go and get somebody else to look after it. So obviously, you know, money's just didn't.
Just for the one child, was it?
Yeah. There's nothing that I can do. I'm telling you now, I'm bracing myself. I do work, but there is nobody.
What about Wesley? You got anyone else to ask?
There is nobody. There is nobody.
We meet people on a daily basis who are struggling, you know, just to put a meal inside the bellies every day. We do feel for them, but on the other hand, you know, we are working for a person who's owed an amount of money.
The agents have now been in the house for 20 minutes when Serena's partner, Wesley, arrives.
Come on, Wesley, come have a chat, mate.
And he wants answers.
How did you get round the back and come through the back door?
They pushed the gate.
I opened the gate and walked in through the back door.
They pushed it.
Right? We have had no contact, none whatsoever from yourselves.
We sent this letter on the 20th.
No, we've not had none. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you what I have received.
You never.
No,
I'm telling you,
the
you
only
never.
people that I've received something from are these people here.
Bristol
That's got nothing to do with that.
I know it has got nothing to do with them.
That's council tax.
Yeah, that's council tax. We've had nothing from you.
Yeah, we've had
The
Nothing.
letter has been sent.
We've not had no letters. Nothing.
You need to have a chat with
I'm
your
gonna phone
postman
the
then,
police.
or Royal Mail.
Despite the fact that notice has been sent from the claimant, the county court and the High Court Enforcement Company, Wesley won't accept the authority of the agents and calls the police.
Yeah, I do owe money, but not to these people. They've sent stuff and there's nothing sent. And right now, it might get physical.
No, it's not going to get
Wesley,
physical.
let's
Don't-
not start
don't
that.
Say that. Don't say that.
Threats, shouting, dancing up and down, all that sort of ritual dance, it doesn't bother me one bit. We've seen it every day of the week. It isn't going to change anything. It just makes things harder for the defendant. We're not going to say, well, because you've raised your voice or called me a name, we're going to go away. That's never going to happen. So it's just pointless.
10 minutes later, the police arrive.
I'll tell you what the problem is, officer. What's going on? These lot are supposed to have supplied us a letter to try and say there's going to notice for enforcement. We've not received no correspondence.
With Wesley insisting he hasn't received notification of the enforcement, Matt tries to break the stalemate and looks through a pile of paperwork.
Want to give that back, Wesley?
And now I've got people going through my... Excuse me, don't go through my stuff.
Please. Seriously, I don't want you to get arrested, so please just stop.
Listen, you know what's happened, really and truly? The woman that owns the nursery, right,
Yeah.
has also applied their fees on top of the thing there, so she's just adding more money on
Yeah.
it. The original debt is only £1,600.
Right.
So how it's reached to £4,000, it's just her adding more, adding more, adding more.
Wesley,
After 2
Wesley,
grand.
bring it down a minute.
No, I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
bring
shouting
it
at you,
down.
am I?
I'm gonna be like this because it's my freaking
Right,
life, mate.
if you carry on
What the
like
hell
this,
do you think?
or you're
You're
gonna-
asking me to calm down, right? And the whole point where I'm getting cheesed off about, you're asking for money, and I told you we can't raise
You can
that.
get it.
How much time do you have to hear it?
You can get
Do
as
need
cheesed
me
off
to
as you
lose
like.
No, do you need me to lose my temper?
Well, you're gonna get arrested then, aren't you?
Ask yourself.
You're gonna get arrested then,
Ask
aren't you?
yourself. Right, no, exactly. No, but he's irony. In other words, there, if you want me to bring it down, I will bring it down. I will bring it down. But could you ask him not to ask me no fucking stupid questions?
The agents are now faced with a debtor who is losing control. With Wesley at risk of arrest, Matt and Gary will have to use all their tenacity to get this case resolved. Matt Highway and Gary Ball were in Birmingham, chasing over £4,000 owed by a couple, Serena and Wesley, to a children's nursery. Matt made peaceful entry through the back door,
No, I didn't ask you to come
There
in.
you go, you don't need to ask between.
and Serena said she couldn't pay.
We're here to recover £4,342.58.
I've got 5 children to look after.
But when her partner, Wesley, arrived, the situation became volatile.
Right now, it might get physical.
No, it's not going to get
Wesley,
physical.
let's not start
don't
that.
Say that.
And he called the police.
I will bring it down. But could you ask him not to ask me no fucking stupid questions?
Now, the police have to make Wesley aware that the agents have every right to be in the house to enforce the writ.
Right, as far as they're concerned, they've followed their procedures through. If they have an address that they're ordered to check by the courts, then that's where they will go, okay?
Yeah, but listen,
I
hold
understand.
on. There's a dispute right about now, and they can't prove it.
So, how do we resolve this here and now? Because that's what needs to
Really and
happen.
truly, what needs to come on from here and now, right, is for these lot to come out of this address here, to go and follow their procedures, to get everything back in line. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you where it is.
But even with the police present, Wesley won't back down. Matt steps in.
Let's
You
move
are
this
in
along a
the
little bit.
wrong.
All right, we're going round and round in circles. Well, raise some money and let's see if we can get it resolved. I find the best way to deal with these situations is to keep as calm as possible. It's very difficult to be angry with somebody that's not reflecting that anger back to you. And it's a skill I learned many years ago in security. You know, the calmer you keep the situation, the better the outcome's going to be.
Realising that the agents aren't going to go away, Wesley finally starts to cooperate.
You say that you'll get 500 quid today.
I don't think that's going to be enough, mate.
Put it towards them. It's
Okay.
like, no venture, no gain.
Now, what the client would normally say is half the outstanding amount.
That's not going to happen.
Okay.
You can go to the creditors and say, look, they don't have much, but what we're willing to do is give you £500 now, make you go off your way, we can go and live our lives, sort out everything that we need to do.
I'd love to get this
But
resolved.
then the whole fact is, no venture, no gain.
Okay.
Wesley, how much weekly or monthly can we afford to offer the nursery?
And just put me and get a 1 a week.
100 a week, so 400 a month. Right, I'll give the office a call.
Gary calls the office to see whether a £500 down payment, together with a payment plan, is acceptable to the claimant.
Hi, Gary, it's Kevin.
Hi, can you have a look at a case for us, mate? Yeah, it's Wesley Regis.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, got an offer, mate. We've been here quite some time now.
Okay.
The defendant, Wesley, is self-employed. The mother, she's got 5 kids. They're offering £500 today.
Okay, yeah.
And £100 per week going forward. All right, buddy. Thanks a lot, Dan. Cheers, bud.
The claimant has accepted the offer. Gary goes to tell Serena and Wesley the good news.
They've contacted the nursery. The nursery has come back with £500 will be accepted today.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Don't contact us.
No, not for 500.
I think with any enforcement visit, we have that jumping up and down, the shouting and screaming. You know, it's testament to the fact that we don't take that personally, that very often we leave the enforcement visit on good terms, shaking hands, sometimes laughing and joking. We take no pleasure from upsetting people. We take no pleasure from, leaving enemies left, right and centre. But we'd much rather get the matter dealt with and leave as friends.
Wesley has paid the £500 and the agents get him to sign a controlled goods agreement.
We've got a list of goods in the property that we're going to secure the debt against. Does that make sense so far, yeah? All right, so it's an agreement between you and us and the claimant that you're going to pay the £100 a week going forward, OK?
If Wesley doesn't stick to his repayment plan, any assets listed on the agreement will be seized.
So I got off on the wrong foot, Wesley, but nice meeting you. Sorry about the circumstances.
No,
All right,
I have to argue on my point.
OK, thanks very much.
It's been a good result for the agents.
That's another day gone.
That morning went quick, didn't it?
In the UK, adults aged under 35 are coming under increasing financial pressure. In a recent study, almost 50% are concerned about their financial future, and over a quarter of young adults admit that they've never learned to manage their money. "6 a.m. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are in Droylsden, Manchester.
Beautiful day.
They're on their way to recover a debt of just over £1,500, owed by Katie Allen for unpaid parking fines.
Can you enlighten me on where we're going?
We are going to visit a Miss Katie Allen. She's got an outstanding balance of £1,691.
Miss Allen received the fines after repeatedly leaving her car in the same car park without displaying a ticket. Now the agents have a writ to collect payment in full or seize goods to offset the debt.
Hello? I'm after Katie. Yeah.
High Court enforcement.
Right, are you able to get her on the phone?
Are you able to go up? Starts at Sandwich Master.
Right, okay.
Katie! Katie! Where is she? She just left for work, honestly.
Right.
Can't
Right.
tell me about it.
No, we need to speak to her. So you need to try and get her on the phone. Someone needs to ring her.
Miss Allen received the fines after repeatedly leaving her car in the same car park without displaying a ticket.
Go upstairs and get dressed if you want. It's not a problem. We'll go in. We'll go in there. There you go. Hiya, Katie, is it? Yeah. Hi, Katie. We're High Court Enforcement Agents from Direct Collection Bailiffs Limited. It's regarding an outstanding balance, Katie. Yeah, so what's happening about this payment? Because you have had a letter about it.
I know, I got a letter the other week, so my dad said ring it, but
Yeah.
I get paid so far.
Right, well, you need to see what you can do to try and raise some funds now, because we're here now to take control of goods unless the balance is paid. 1,691.71 pence. Need to see what you can do to try and pay it today.
Well, I haven't got a pay till Friday.
Yeah.
I ain't got any money.
How much is it?
£1,691.
For
It's
Parking. Looks like parking.
Yeah, parking.
parking fines. For God's sake.
It's clear that Katie's mother was unaware of her daughter's situation. Stuart tries to find out more about how the debt arose.
Where's the parking from?
Just outside where we used to work.
Yeah.
We used to go out on a Friday, but there was no option to pay after 12.
Yeah.
Just go every Saturday morning and have a ticket.
Yeah. No.
There's now what you can do when I've got no money to pay it, is there?
I don't know why the younger generation think it's fine to run up debt and not to pay it. I mean, if this is the way we're heading, then society's in for a big surprise. I was brought up that if you have debt, you pay it. You pay your debts first, actually, and whatever's left over is then for you to spend. But that seems to have gone out the window.
The agents have been in the house for 15 minutes. Katie hasn't made an offer of payment, and now the whole family is getting involved.
Simple, very dead in the sand.
I'm not burying my head in the sand, Dad. Am I?
Yes.
I've had one letter, which was 2 weeks ago. I've not had any money since.
And you just ignore
Yeah,
it.
it's no point ringing and saying I've got no money.
That was about 150 quid parking fine. It's about 700 or 800 quid now.
There's nothing I can do about it.
What do you clear when you take home?
What do I?
What do you take home
I take about just under 1,200 home, but I've got direct debit.
Plus, you know everybody.
Don't owe everybody at all. Why do I?
Your own dad.
Apart from they used to.
Well, I've got no dosh. I never did.
What can I do about it, Dad? I can't magic money.
It's not nice doing this.
I know it's not, Mum. I don't even know what to
I don't
say.
owe one penny me in my life. Ever.
Well, look at you.
It's not looking me. It's
Look at
parking
you.
fines. And it's got to this amount of money.
It's not too bad.
Well, how many is it? A couple of parking tickets. 3 parking tickets. 4. Maybe 5. 1,600. Is that what it is now? Yeah.
I think the biggest problem with debt is it doesn't care about your family, it doesn't care about you, it doesn't care the situation you got yourself into. It can bring families together, it can rip families apart, but we are there to make them realise that it's either now or never. They need to either raise payment or we'll have to take control of goods.
With tensions growing in the family, Stuart needs to get this case resolved as quickly as possible. He turns his attention to Katie's car.
Well, the vehicle will be seized, you see, so we'll have to take control of that as well. Have you got the keys for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be able to. Can we take control of them, wherever they are?
No, I don't. Bleeding pennies.
I'll be honest, we're seeing it quite a lot at the moment.
Oh, a penny to me.
No,
All comes out of the bank. Every month.
yeah, different generation, isn't it? That's the thing. Whereabouts is it? Is it on the front?
She wouldn't be getting to get to work now, will she?
Stuart goes out to check over Katie's car.
I didn't expect her to give me the keys so easily, but why would you ignore a parking debt? She knows about this debt. She's ignored it. That's why we're here. She should have nipped it in the bud instead of ignoring it until we come on the door today. But that's how people deal with it, isn't it? They try and like hold their heads in the sand, and then when it comes face to face with them, they just can't deal with it. 110,000 miles.
At auction, the car would cover about a quarter of the £1,500 Katie owes. But the prospect of seeing her daughter lose her car has prompted Katie's mum to act.
I'll give you some. I can only give you my bill money that's coming out at the beginning of the month.
How much could you, realistically, get today? About 800.
You better pay her back if she puts any money up.
Mum, Dad, she knows I'll pay her back, or she won't be offering to pay it.
Katie's mother has offered half the debt as a down payment. But the agents need to set up a payment plan to settle the balance.
It'll have to be £300 a month.
£300 a month?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Well, I'll have to do that then.
Yeah.
Katie now has 3 months to pay off the balance. But if she defaults, her car is at risk.
What we'll do is we'll secure the goods so you can still keep your car and everything like that. But in 3 months, if it's not clear, then we will have to come back and we will remove it.
Katie's mother makes the £800 down payment.
There's your keys back anyway. At least it gets you to work and everything like that.
But now, with most of Katie's wages going toward paying off the debt, she may have to reassess her future.
But I'm going to Portugal in June and I'm going to have no spending money now.
No.
£300 a month.
Right. All right, guys, we'll leave you to it anyway.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you later, mate. Take it easy. How can you put that on your parents and then say, oh, I'm going on holiday in 4 weeks' time to Portugal. I've got no money for Portugal.
Priorities is a bit wrong. She's more considered about paying for holiday than paying her debt. And now her mum and dad has to pay it. The mind boggles.
The mind boggles, and I feel really sorry for the parents because they shouldn't be paying it.
Yeah.
Stuart and Vic have had to deal with a stressful family feud. But in Gary and Matt's next case, they meet an obstructive debtor.
No, you can't touch it as well.
I can touch anything in here.
Who'll do anything to owed paying up.
Can you? I'm not owning the business.
Oh, okay. Do you think we were born yesterday?
Research has revealed that more and more Britons are in denial about their debts. A third admit they can't face the reality of how much they owe. More than 40% realise they had a debt problem only after being pursued by creditors. It's 8:30 p.m. High Court enforcement agents Matt Highway and Gary Ball are in Dudley, West Midlands, seeking to recover £1,600 owed to a car hire company.
Where's next then, mate?
We're going to see Mr. Maqsood Ahmed. It's £1,676.69.
But this isn't the first time the agents have tried to enforce this writ against Mr. Ahmed.
So this is a third address for this chap. And we've been given the runaround for about 4 weeks now. Hopefully finally we'll catch up with him and get this settled.
This time the agents have come to a business address for Mr. Ahmed. It's a takeaway, and as it's peak trading hour, Matt and Gary are hoping to finally find him and get this case resolved once and for all.
Hello there, how are you?
Hi, mate.
How you doing, mate? Looking for Mr. Maqsood Ahmed.
Oh, Mr. Maqsood Ahmed, yeah.
Well, High Court enforcement agent, sir.
Oh, Mr. Maqsood Ahmed.
Him. He's not here, no?
But Gary has seen a photograph of the debtor and thinks he's spotted him.
Oh, there he is. Hello, sir. How are you? Just explain who I am again. I'm sure you already know. My name's Mr. Highway, sir. High Court Enforcement Agent. Yeah. You okay? So we're to collect. No, we can't go outside now, sir. We're here to collect a balance of £1,676.69, sir.
I'll be honest with you. I want to pay. What happened was, who I work for, he never paid me. He told me he's gonna pay me on the 10th. I'm still working for him.
Right.
Still working for him.
Yeah.
And he's gonna pay me £1,400, and I want to do it in one go anyway because I want to clear it off. I don't want to take the stress.
Right.
I'll be honest with you.
Why don't you make the calls and get that organised now?
Well, I can't organise from nowhere.
All the stress will disappear then, won't it?
I got 80 quid in my bucket.
It's not going to be enough, is it? You owe 16, don't you?
With payment looking unlikely, the agent's only choice is to remove assets from the takeaway to offset the debt.
Well, let me tell you what the situation is, OK? We're either going to be collecting payments or seizing goods to the value of. That's what we're to do.
Yeah, I'm working here. There's a gaffer asking.
Mr. Ahmed now claims that he's only an employee and the man the agents first met owns the takeaway. But Gary is suspicious and looks around for any paperwork.
Yeah, you don't have to help me, sir. You don't have to help me.
But Mr. Ahmed is becoming agitated.
No, you can't touch it as well.
I can touch anything in here, so yeah, I can.
You can't touch it.
Yeah, I can.
Yes, you can, sir. And it's offence to obstruct him. If you obstruct him, I'll call police.
Move back. Move back now.
No, you can't give me
Yes,
like
I can.
that. You
Move
can't
back.
give me like that. I'm
Move
standing
back.
here.
Right. Don't obstruct my colleague when he's doing his job.
Yeah,
all right?
he's doing the job. No, but you can't give me the argument.
I've no issue with you standing watching him. You can do that. That's your prerogative. But you're not obstructing him.
But then Gary makes an important discovery.
Gas bill? Not yours, no?
Sorry? Nah.
Do you pay the gas bill as a worker, do you?
No.
No, you don't?
No. That if you can check it out with the British Gas, that's nothing to do with me.
Well, it's got your name on.
Oh, I don't know.
And it's got this address. Masood Ahmed.
But you can
Trading Gas Mamas. This is Mamas, yeah?
The gas bill is evidence that Mr. Ahmed does own the takeaway after all, but he's not backing down.
You're not going to find anything at all on my name.
Well, we just have. He's got it in his hand there, look.
Oh, that's not proof as well.
Well, it is.
I'll tell you
It
what.
is. Okay.
I'm not owning the business.
Oh, okay. Do you think we were born yesterday?
No,
No.
Did
Do you think this is our first day on the job?
That's right, I'm coming out.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Quite often, a defendant will use any excuse under the sun, and even when we show them completely irrefutable evidence that they are the person we're looking for and that we are in the right place, they'll still deny it. It's the last line of defence that they've got. We're there, we stood in your place, about to remove goods. The only thing he's got available to him is, it's not me.
The agents have now been at the takeaway for half an hour. With the debtor, Mr. Ahmed, gone, and with evidence to show that this is his business, the agent's only option is to remove goods in his absence. But Mr. Ahmed's colleague insists that he is the owner of the takeaway.
On the business,
Yeah.
if firing Just Eat now,
Yeah.
firing Just Eat's, you know,
Yeah.
the contractors
Yeah.
for it. They'll ask for my name and my bank details, and it's going to be mine.
Why is he paying your electric bill then?
Second.
Why is he paying the electric bill for this place?
Who's paying the electric bill? Nobody's paying
Max
the electric bill.
Masood is.
He's not paying that bill.
Why is his name on the bill then?
I don't know. He hasn't paid that bill.
Masood,
not
electric.
electric
It's not an electric bill. It's not an electric bill for this place.
I don't know why his
You
name
don't know?
on there. I don't
Okay.
know why his name there.
Well, you're the boss of this place, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, so you'd obviously know that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Despite the man's protests, the agents continue their inventory. But then Mr. Ahmed returns.
I've got no money at all.
Right.
I'll be honest
Well,
with
you need to give somebody a call that can help you then.
Yeah, I tried. I've been to a couple of people now. I'll be honest with you, nobody got at the moment.
Make the calls. Let's get this sorted. Let's get it done.
Yeah,
right?
but that's
I
what
don't want to be organising a van.
I'm just gonna go one place to see if I can
Yeah.
drain something up.
Let's sort out before the bill goes up, before this business gets disrupted. Let you carry on what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, I just go out try.
Thank you, Maxi.
It seems that the prospect of the business being put at risk has prompted Mr. Ahmed to try and raise some cash.
The High Court writ tells me to go and seize the goods of the defendant. It puts us in a strong position. It puts us in that position of, you know, we've really got that bargaining tool there to say, well, we're here for the money. If we don't get the money, then we're going to be removing goods.
Just over an hour later,
Maxi,
Mr. Ahmed comes back to the shop.
is that 500, yeah?
It seems he's managed to raise some money after all.
When's the rest of it going to get paid?
I'm going to pay you on the 10th.
You're going to pay the balance on the 10th?
I can't pay you full balance on the 10th.
Right. So £500 on the 10th, 676 on the 10th of the 5th.
Matt takes a £500 down payment and sets up a payment plan to offset the balance.
Can I have a receipt for that?
No, that is your receipt. That is your receipt. So what was this for? What was the money for?
Oh, there's a more dispute with them anyway.
Yeah.
Because I was renting a van from them.
Yeah.
The van hit on the shutter. You know the.
So it was damaged, the van?
No damage at all on the van. They tried to charge me the excess for the damage.
Right.
Which one the fucking no damage at all?
Okay.
I'm gonna fucking deal with that bastard.
You take care, okay? Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. Thank you. Good night, mate. Cheers. Well, result of sorts.
The case is resolved for now, but if Mr. Ahmed defaults on his payments, the agents will be back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gone 11 o'clock now in the evening. You know, we're not going to give up. We're not just going to, you know, walk in and then, you know, when we're asked to leave, we're going to leave. We're going to stay there till the bitter end. And 4 hours later, we've managed to get some money out of him and an arrangement. So it's fairly good in the end.
The number of self-employed workers in the UK has risen by almost a quarter since 2008 and now stands at nearly 4.8 million. However, research has shown that over half of self-employed people owe, on average, 35% more in personal debt than those who are in full-time employment. It's 7 a.m. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are on their way to Carnforth, Lancashire, to recover almost £3,500 owed by the owner of a garage.
Who are we after anyway?
Chris Fernley.
How much does Mr. Fernley owe?
£3,418.
Mr. Fernley owes the money to a customer. He sold them a car, which was returned. Mr. Fernley then didn't pay them a refund.
And it's a garage, isn't it? Button Moon Motors.
Button Moon Motors.
It's a nice little industrial estate, though.
It's not bad at all. So we park just before his unit and walk up the little...
Yeah, why not? So why don't we just park here?
If Mr. Fernley can't or won't pay today, the agents can seize assets from the garage, including vehicles, to offset the debt.
Hiya, mate, you alright? We're after Chris. Rate of control, mate, for £3,419.
Supposed to let people know when you were coming.
Yeah, we have.
Say notices.
Yeah, a letter's been sent, or else we wouldn't be here, you see.
No letters coming in.
Right, okay. Well, it doesn't change the situation that we're here today. The payment has to be made. Chris are here to remove goods. Simple as that, really. Taking...
500 quid on me and that's it.
It's going to have to be more than that, mate.
We can obviously give you some time, like, to raise some funds. Debit card or bank transfer would be the options. Or cash.
Small place, that's £2.5 this morning. If you'd have said something to me. Yeah, well, I've been to pay my bill and get that...
Well, you haven't paid this bill, so that's why we're here now.
Mr. Fernley's £500 offer is not enough, so Vic sets a deadline.
We can give you 20 minutes if you want to ring around, see if someone can help you.
I don't have any best mates round here. I'm a loner.
They don't have to be around here. Someone can make a payment over the phone.
No, I don't know anybody else I would do.
Okay.
With Mr. Fernley seemingly unable to increase his £500 offer, Stuart turns his attention to the white Astra parked outside.
What about the vehicle?
Wait, No, customers have put that for MOT this morning.
Have you? Right, okay. Have you any documentation for it?
I've none, no.
So,
It's in for repair.
But Stuart is suspicious. He goes to search the car. He finds a letter from the local city council addressed to the debtor.
Customer's car, but that was in the glove box.
With his dog and paperwork in the glove box. What does he think? We just started this job yesterday.
Yeah, I think he got muggered in her forehead. He said straight away that the car isn't his, it's a customer's, but there's a letter in there from Lancaster City Council from the 20th of the 10th, which is about 3 weeks ago. And I don't know why you'd have that in there if it was a customer's car. I mean, if it's a customer's car, you take it to MOT, you bring it back. You don't jolly around in it for 3 weeks.
The agents go to confront Mr. Fernley.
Right. There's documentation in the vehicle with your name on it, sir. Well, do you think we do this? Do you think this is the first time we do this job?
What documentation with my name on it?
With your
In the glove
address?
box.
Eh?
In the glove box from Lancaster City Council with your home address on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, I'll show you, because that might be easier.
Yeah, it's got my name and address. It's good box, John.
Yeah. There's the documentation there with your details on it.
Yeah.
But you said you've just taken this for an MOT. Yeah, you've just taken this to MOT.
Universal credit.
Yeah.
I had to take that into council.
Yeah.
Which I have done to prove that I got my universal credit.
Yeah.
Which is what I have done.
Yeah.
Right. Can you prove this vehicle is not yours?
I don't have any documentation.
Okay, then it will go.
With no proof that the car doesn't belong to the debtor, Stuart clamps it. But then Mr. Fernley makes a surprising offer.
I can sell a load of gold tomorrow.
Where's the gold?
Used to have an antique shop.
The case has taken an unexpected turn. But will Mr. Fernley's stash of gold be enough to cover the almost £3,500 Stuart and Vic came for? Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor were in Carnforth, Lancashire, to recover almost £3,500 owed by a garage owner to a dissatisfied customer.
Right, let's go.
Debtor Chris Fernley said he couldn't pay.
500 quid on me and that's it.
So the agents started to look for assets.
What about the vehicle?
Wait, those customers have put that for MOT this morning.
But Stuart was suspicious.
Customer's car, but that was in the glove box.
And found evidence to the contrary.
There's documentation in the vehicle with your name on it, sir. Well, do you think we do this? Do you think this is the first time we do this job?
What documentation with my name on it?
With
In
your
the glove
address?
box.
Stuart clamped the car. But then Mr. Fernley surprised the agents.
I can sell a load of gold tomorrow.
Where's the gold?
Now Vic needs to assess the value of the gold to see whether it's enough to settle the debt for good.
Sovereigns. They do £2.90 a piece.
290 a piece.
Yeah.
290 a piece. So that's 300. Say £300 a piece.
Yeah.
How many have you got?
1, 2, 3 there.
Can I have a look at it?
That's gold. It's 9 carat. Yeah, it's 9 carat gold. Believe me, when I go weigh that in tomorrow, I'll get 5 for that.
5 grand?
Yeah.
It seems that the value of the gold might cover the £3,400 Mr. Fernley owes. But there's a problem.
Where does that have to go?
A dealer in Kendal.
That's not
But
too
he's
far
only
from
there-
here.
No, he's only there on Friday.
It seems Mr. Fernley can't sell the gold to the dealer until the following day. The agents could seize the gold themselves, but would prefer to be paid in cash.
When we get offered gold, 9 times out of 10, most people's eyes would light up, but at the end of the day, we would rather deal in cash than deal in gold, jewellery or anything like that. because it just puts the bill up. We've got to store it for 7 days. It's then got to get sold at public auction. It might not even get the amount depending on the prices. Gold goes up and down every 5 minutes.
Unwilling to take the gold, Vic gives Mr. Fernley one last chance to pay.
Okay, well listen, we need the balance today. I'm leaving it with you. I'm leaving that sword with you.
But then, Mr. Fernley decides to call a friend to see whether he can raise some funds using his gold as collateral.
He hasn't got money, he hasn't got anything, and then he pulls a bag out with, it's on this, he pulls a bag out with a tray of gold rings in it. Bizarre, eh? What's happening?
Get it.
Is it cash?
Yeah.
Cash?
Cash.
Okay.
Mr. Fernley's friend has offered to pay the almost £3,500 he owes today. But he needs to leave the garage to go and collect it.
Do you know how long roughly you'll be, mate? Just so.
We half an hour there, half an hour back. Not if you want to follow me.
We can wait here. It's not going to be long.
Let's go 10 to 12, so you'll be back by 1 o'clock. Well, we'll see you in an hour.
Mr. Fernley has left the gold in his office as security. But with the agents not knowing its true value at auction, they decide to trust their professional instincts.
It's very hard to trust a defendant when they say, look, I'm leaving now and I'll be back shortly. Do we trust them? Do we believe them? The main worry we've got is when a defendant disappears is, how are we going to get in contact with them again? Are we going to get this matter resolved or not? How are we going to get this issue resolved if they don't come back?
I'll wait here and keep warm.
90 minutes later, Mr. Fernley still hasn't returned to the garage. Vic gets him on the phone.
Mr. Fernley? Yes, are you on your way back? Right, how long are you going to be, sir? Oh, okay. Thank you. 2 minutes.
There he is. That's him. Oh. Hello, sir. Your phone's been ringing a few times, so you've got customers waiting.
The agent's gamble has paid off. Mr. Fernley has returned with enough cash to pay off his £3,500 debt in full.
So there's 3,000. It's 420 here. That's your cash receipt for you.
What's it regarding, Chris, anyway?
I sold the car
Yeah.
to somebody else, not me.
Ah,
Nothing
right.
to do with me.
Yeah.
I was a middleman.
Yeah.
Then I did the repairs on it.
Yeah.
Then that lemon turned around and said he didn't want it.
Yeah.
And he wanted money back.
Yeah.
So these people that were selling the car lived in Spain.
Yeah.
So I rings them up, said, you don't want it. You
No.
want your money back.
Yeah.
They said, well, we're not paying.
No. So you've been lumbered with it.
The case has been resolved.
Right, we'll leave you to it. Take it easy. See you later.
See you later. That's why they call us the A-team.
That's exactly right, brother. Worth the wait?
Yeah.
New Cat P will take it away is back same time next Wednesday. Eamon and Ruth are looking for the best ways to combat that 7-year itch. New tomorrow night at 9, and some hot, sexy roleplay seems to be one answer. Next tonight, born with a rare complication and a slim chance of survival, we hear the remarkable story of Noah, the boy with no brain.